It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Saturday, August the 26th. I'm Michael Groff. Yesterday, the high temperature in the valley, 108 degrees, and the heat will be our big short-term concern here across southern Arizona. The hottest deserts will push the 110-degree mark in coming days, but chances of showers and thunderstorms will return to much of the area. Harvey has made landfall in the Texas coast. How will that affect our weather? And of course, the tropics in the East Pacific are getting active as well. So a lot to talk about. Let's get out there and look at it this morning here at 6 a.m. We've got mostly clear skies in the valley right now. 87 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew points at 58, humidity 37%. The winds are light and the barometer is steady. Temperatures across the area this morning, just about everybody is in the 80s at this hour. Satellite here across the southwest, mostly clear skies, just a few high clouds here in southern Arizona this morning. On the watch warning map, excessive heat warnings in effect in western Arizona, as well as parts of southern Nevada near Las Vegas. Excessive heat in California, and that extends as far north as the Sacramento and San Joaquin valleys. Hurricane warnings continue on the middle Texas coast in association with Harvey. Those will be canceled at some point today. But tropical storm warnings should remain in effect for the next several days as tropical storm force winds are expected to continue. Flash flood watches, and that's really going to be the problem here. Those are in effect until further notice. Flash flood warnings in many spots as well. We're talking about rainfall that is going to be catastrophic in nature in some spots. The damage could make areas uninhabitable for days, weeks, maybe even months, depending on just how much rain falls with this system. Also, flash flood watches continue across parts of South Florida. Lost in all the talk about Hurricane Harvey, there's been a tropical system parked there for the last several days, and they've had significant rainfall in much of southern and central Florida. On the convective outlook, obviously a slight risk of severe storms in association with Harvey near Houston today, and a marginal risk for some of the adjacent areas. Anywhere north and east of that circulation center has the risk of severe storms. Also across the western plains of the Dakotas, Nebraska, Kansas, and parts of Iowa today, also with a slight risk of severe storms. Here's Harvey on the satellite. Very impressive system. The eye made landfall last night near Rockport, Texas, with winds of nearly 140 miles per hour. Some higher gusts were no doubt recorded. And now the system is down to a Category 1 hurricane. Here's the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center. Maximum sustained winds 80 miles per hour. But the wind threat is going to diminish with time, although tropical storm force winds will continue for several days. The rain threat will not. You see, this is the official track from the National Hurricane Center. By Thursday, now keep in mind, that's 5-6 days away from now. By next Thursday at 1 a.m. Central Time, the Hurricane Center has this thing just barely north of Houston as a tropical depression, still putting down copious amounts of rain. And how much rain? Well, we'll talk about that in just a second. Here's some of the modeling. And quite honestly, there's still a lot of questions as to where this system is going to go. It's not going to go very far because there's high pressure to the west and high pressure to the east. This thing is just blocked in. The GFS ensemble is on the left. The tropical models are on the right. Now, many of the tropical models keep this thing over Texas and kind of meander it a bit to the north and weaken it with time, whereas the GFS ensemble, most of those models actually start to bring it a little bit further to the west. Some of them bring it back down into Mexico, and only a couple of models bring it off to the north. Fortunately, only a couple of models bring it back out over the Gulf. Let's hope that doesn't happen, because then it would start to re-intensify. That is certainly still a possibility and something that needs to be monitored nonetheless. Here is the rainfall data. This is the raw QPF chart coming off of the GFS here, and you see it's got a maximum of almost 4 feet of rain over South Texas there. The scale doesn't even go that high on the right, but obviously the maximum there near Victoria, Texas is just off the chart, literally off the chart. And if this kind of rain were to materialize, that would be just devastating. Widespread 10 to 20 inch amounts will be likely across the middle and upper Texas coast. Some spots will see at least 30 inches of rain. That is pretty much indisputable at this point. Beyond that, yes, it is possible some places could see 40 inches of rain or more. This is the European, and this is just insanity here. It's got a maximum of almost 64 inches of rain. Now, obviously, I don't think that's going to happen. That would be inconceivable amounts of rain, but you get the idea. As we zoom in a little bit closer here, it has Victoria receiving over 60 inches of rain over the next 10 days. That's something that I don't think anyone could even believe when they see that. And I don't think that's going to materialize, but even 30 inches of rain would be more than some of these places see in a season. That's more than Phoenix sees in almost 4 years. So the idea here is that incredible amounts of rain are going to continue to pelt much of the Texas coast and some spots inland for the foreseeable future. Let's get into our weather in more detail. We'll check the models now. Here's the GFS, the 06Z run, valid at 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time today. High pressure building north across the Great Basin, a generally easterly flow, and normally that'd be pretty moist air for us. But today, fairly dry, mostly sunny skies. High temperatures today climb to around 106 to 110. Some of the hottest desert spots in Southern California will be warmer. There might be some isolated showers and storms over the White Mountains and in southeast Arizona, but I don't think anything is going to threaten us here in the valley. There you see Harvey just sitting over Texas. On Sunday, high pressure continues to sit over the Great Basin. There's a short wave moving down the eastern periphery of that, and we'll watch that carefully. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms may get closer to the valley tomorrow afternoon and evening. Could see some blowing dust late in the evening. Although with storms coming in from the east, the blowing dust risk is fairly low. But these storms, with the air mass being relatively dry, are only going to really produce wind if we see anything here in Metro Phoenix. Very little in the way of rain. Highs tomorrow, again, 106 to 110. On Monday, the pressure gradient beginning to tighten as Harvey continues to sit over South Texas and high pressure over the Great Basin. And this little short wave pushing something of a cool front backdoor style here into New Mexico and Arizona, so a slight chance of afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms will be with us, but the chance is not overly great. We're only going to push about a 20% chance each afternoon and evening. The better likelihood is just gusty winds and only a few spots seeing any significant precipitation. Highs still in the 106 to 110 range. Really the same thing on Tuesday. Harvey not going anywhere, ridge of high pressure not going anywhere, and limited moisture will be with us for a continued slight chance of late afternoon and evening showers and storms, and high temperatures still maybe backing off a degree or two, maybe into the 104 to 108 bracket. On Wednesday, nothing really changes. Harvey continues to sit over South Texas, although there are indications that it begins to drift to the west as the Great Basin high-pressure system becomes the more dominant weather feature, so that could pull Harvey back into Mexico, which in some ways would be good news for Texas because that would start to pull some of that moisture away. Meanwhile, for us, just a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms continues, highs 104 to 108. Thursday, we've got another tropical system down here west of the Baja or southwest of Cabo San Lucas. So some moisture might start to go up the Gulf of California. Could see a Gulf surge that might add to the chance of showers and storms ultimately. But I think we'd still just have a slight chance of rain as the flow aloft is northeasterly. Nothing really to inject significant moisture in here. You see Harvey moving over Mexico. That's if this is right. Certainly a lot of question marks. We're not buying into any one solution just now. Here's Friday. That tropical system continues to move west-northwestward up the Baja there. And we'll watch that carefully. You know, these things can certainly affect us. We have seen these early September storms do quite a bit of weather chaos around here. Let's go out to a week from today. This is Saturday, the 2nd of September. This is getting into the Labor Day holiday weekend. East to northeasterly flow, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms around here. Not really much of a change in the weather pattern. Highs 103 to 107. This is Sunday, the 3rd of September, and again, we continue with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms as high pressure continues north of the state. An easterly flow and some moisture will undoubtedly still be sneaking in here in this kind of a pattern. Here is the end of the forecast period. This is Monday, the 4th of September. High pressure north of the state. East to southeasterly flow in here. A tropical system west of the Baja spur. Some moisture undoubtedly still hanging around for a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, but right now it's just too early to get into specifics regarding any one scenario. It does look like a very low-grade monsoon, at the least, will be with us. Temperatures through the period coming off of the GFS ensemble, yes, near 110 today, tomorrow, Monday, and then we'll slowly be backing temperatures off as moisture slightly increases through the period, and then indications of a further cool down as we get further on into September. That's going to wrap it up for a very lengthy edition of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. Our next video comes back here tomorrow. Maybe it's already tomorrow. And that was we had a lot to talk about today. If you like our videos, be sure to subscribe to us. That way, every time we post a brand new video, you'll get the notifications. Stay cool, be safe out there, have a great Saturday.